Scripture this morning comes from Proverbs. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will straighten your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be a healing of your flesh and a refreshment for your body. Honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruits of all of your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. Please rise and pray with me. Our Father, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen. A long time ago, before the development of civilization, before the written word, before the rising and the sinking of Atlantis, the building of the pyramids, the creation of the Sphinx, and according to many people, before God made dirt, I was born. Oh, yea, verily, verily. I was born to a quest to find the secret of life, and I have. And it's relatively easy. Be happy. That's it. That's the secret of life. Be happy. Nothing's better than being happy. How do you get there? A little different program. There are three things that you really need to understand about being happy. Number one, first and foremost, in your lives, you must have God. Second, family. Third, friends. I know. I was in the same boat as you. Guess what my parents made me do every Sunday? Darn right. I had to go to church. And guess who I didn't think I saw in church? God. For years. Bing, 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 off to church I went. However, in the back of my mind, I'm going, geez, I wonder if there is a God. Because I prayed to him. Boy, did I pray to him. I prayed about that cheerleader in high school. Prayed about a number of different girls in college. Prayed about getting a really good-looking car for my first car. My car turned out to be a metallic green turtle. It was a 50 Dodge. You could open the back doors. You could run through the back of the car standing up. The ugliest vehicle I ever saw. Followed by a 1960 Chevy, which was even uglier than the first one. Then, God delivers me to an AMX, 69 AMX, 390 cubic inch engine, 4-speed Hurst that do 135 miles an hour. I said, now, I'm going to find chicks. And God brought me to Carson Long to work. I've been working nights ever since. That makes it a little difficult. So I'm going through all this, and finally I begin to realize that I don't need a pillar of fire to understand that God exists. What I need is I need to see what he does. And through science, I have seen that. I've seen beautiful things. that God has created. Still didn't have that kind of one-on-one thing where I asked for something and got it. But that too changed. I got to a point where the secretaries were trying to find me blind dates, and did. I know that a lot of those girls had great personalities. But wow. Finally, at the end apartment of 49, this end, right next to the infirmary, I get down on my hands and knees in my living room. And I said, God, I quit. You want me to find somebody? You find her. In a week and a half, blacksmith that I was working with, actually he was a farrier, because those guys can actually correct shoeing and actually get your horse to walk in a different direction. So this guy was a master. Turns to me and says, hey, you got to take Jennifer Adams out. I said, what? He goes, yeah. I got the word from Renford. He's a farmer. Renford doesn't like the guy she's dating. Wants you to take her out. Have a good time and get her away from him. I mean, I remember this girl. She was in my church. She's 12 years younger than I am. I'm going to jail. The result was I asked her to go out on Saturday night, and she said to me, I can't. I have a date. And I said, well, that worked out well. She says, but I can go out Friday night. I'm going, whoa, I am. Now, I went out with her one time, and I left for Alaska for 2 months. Came back, she had dumped the guy. Oh, I am. So, we went out a couple more times, and I made it perfectly clear to her that here's what I was looking for. Someone to share the stuff I was doing. Now, guys, when you can share things with other people, that really makes you happy. I said I didn't want a meaningful relationship. I just wanted to be able, when I was off duty, to go to the movies and go out to eat and stuff. And she looked at me and smiled and said, oh, that'll be wonderful. She knew something I didn't have a clue about. And as a result, I found somebody that I could share the rest of my life with. Somebody that didn't walk behind me, didn't walk in front of me. She walked beside me. And that really, really made me happy. Now, God obviously works in mysterious ways. And He's confused me a lot. But one thing He did make really clear to me was the importance of, here we go, family. You say, well, I don't get along with my brothers and sisters. I don't get along with my mom and dad. They sent me to military school, for Pete's sakes. Okay. Build your own family. Build a family that you can take anywhere and do anything with. Find somebody you can share the rest of your life with. And then raise your kids the same way. If you want your kids to act like adults, let them hang around with you. If you want them to conduct themselves properly and learn how to eat properly, let them eat with you. Now, you will never be alone because you can take your family everywhere. And everybody joins in on the happiness. And as I've told you many times, people who don't even know you will learn how important it was to go to Carson Long by meeting your kids. Last but not least, friends. I've talked to you many times about what a friend is. A friend is not the guy who says everything's okay. The friend is the guy who kicks you in the rear end before you do something dumb. And after you do something dumb, he gets you and he jumps in your face and he says, you get your butt over to the office and you tell Colonel Somerville before he finds out from somebody else. That is a friend. I do not have a lot of friends, even though, yes, I am a warm and fuzzy kind of guy. But the people that I call my friends have never lied to me. And as a matter of fact, my best friend asked me how I managed to survive as long as I have. I'm that dumb. Those are the kind of friends that will make you happy. Those are the kind of friends, no matter where they're at. He's got a ranch in New Zealand. We stay in contact. They're the friends that you guys are developing right now. So, those three things are really important. God must be first. Family, build your own. Build your own traditions. At Christmas time, you may want to put the Christmas tree up after the kids go to bed. You can build all kinds of traditions. It's your family. And friends, if you're going to have more than 2 friends, you're a very, very lucky individual. A friendship is obviously something that will last forever. Now, you're about to face a real adventure, but you're not going to face your adventure alone. You have God. You have the family you created, and if you're really lucky, you have a mate that will follow you everywhere. And last but not least, you have great friendship. Now, is that going to answer all your questions? Heck no. Are you kidding? I walk through every cotton picking day wondering what's going on. It's a friggin' adventure. And I need references. You guys know in the science department, we find out everything. For instance, love. What is that? Love? Try figuring that out using a scientific method. I was a scientist. When I started dating my wife, love was something that was in poetry and great literature. Right up until the day I tried to jump out of my car with a seatbelt on. Then the head of your science department looked at himself in the mirror and went, I was the same guy who jumped out of the car, went around, opened the door for my wife, and we're walking into the store, and she pulls on my sleeve and says, you left the car running. That's not right. There's something wrong here, folks. And I began to realize there are things in this world that we can't understand. For instance, why do girls have 23 hormones and we have 2? Where are they from? When I'm in my deer stand and I'm all alone in the woods, am I still wrong? Why can you get so much joy and so much pleasure from somebody who most of the time makes you crazy? Why did God give me 3 daughters in an all-boys school? Why, when I walked out of Annex the other day, were 6 guys standing outside beating ice to death with the back of their snow shovel? I don't know. I have no clue. Why would a guy buy a sword? Are the Crips and the Bloods fighting with swords now? I don't think so. I mean, okay, he buys this, and I've got this. Okay, who's going to use this more? I am going to use this for opening letter. That's the biggest letter opener I have seen. And he asked me to sharpen this. For what? Now, he's got to explain this to his wife. Oh, yes, this is something we need at our house. But we're guys. I ask questions like this constantly. Goofy little questions that I want to find answers for, because this is an adventure. All right, do have 2 references at your disposal. One that I find is just phenomenal is the internet. I mean, I can find it. I found out how to change the code on one of my vehicles so that I can punch in other numbers and open the door. I found out how to fix a toilet, found out how to fix a sink, found out how to recondition cast iron skillets, how to actually rebuild a cast iron pot-bellied stove. I've learned how to do trigger jobs on rifles, how to load ammunition. This will teach you everything that you need to know about, get this, stuff. But if you want to know about people, if you want to know about conditions that will make you happy, this is it. This thing is phenomenal. This is the Bible. This covers every situation that you will ever come in contact with, including that guy who says good morning to you in the morning and you want to punch his lights out because you know later on in the day he's going to be a pain in the butt. How to build a family, how to maintain a family, how to help others, and more importantly, what do you get from all of these wonderful things? Is it all gold and silver? Is it all crops and stuff? No, you get warm and fuzzy, and you can't explain it. Why, when you do something for somebody else, do you feel better about life? I don't know, but it's in here. And I know the more I do that, the better I feel, and the happier I am. So in your quest for knowledge, ask about everything. Question everything. And above all, put God first. Build your family. And cherish your friends.